Hi, this is Katelyn Liu, and I'll be walking you through the 6th grade worksheets for lesson 23. So the first page that you should have gotten asks us to solve equations and to find the value of x for the following equations and to show our work. So there's only one variable in each one, that's x, and x is a different value for each question. So we start at this one. Solving for x essentially is isolating x on one side of the equation. So there's this side, and we want to make it so this part is just x, so we do inverse operations, and we minus 47 from each side. Now negative x is equal to, well, we have 23 plus 14 minus 47, so 23 plus 14 is 37, minus 47 would be negative 10. And then you have negative x is equal to negative 10, but negative x is the same thing as negative 1 times x. And so we divide both sides by negative 1, and x is equal to negative 10 divided by negative 1 is equal to 10. Okay. Let's do two more problems on this one. 7x plus 12 is equal to 40. And so first we want to, well, you could divide by 7, but then you'd have to divide the 12 by 7 too. And since that's a fraction, it complicates things. So we will subtract 12 on both sides first. So 7x is equal to, let's see, 28. Now you divide by 7 on both sides, which gives us a nice whole number, 4. And the last one here, now we have 11 plus 14, or plus x plus 14 equals 93. We could also add these two together first before subtracting them, which would make it easier for us to visualize it so we don't have to subtract twice. So 11 plus 14 is 25, I believe, yes, 93, minus 25 on both sides. X would be equal to, let's see, 68. Okay. Now on the second page, we are asked to basically solve for y and to change it into slope-intercept form. So you have to get comfortable with understanding that there's two variables in these equations, and that you're not really solving to get a number, but rather just to move y to one side. So if you need a little reminder, this slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, is always very handy for graphing. So whenever you're graphing, you probably are graphing linear equations, you want it to be in this form, which is the one that most people are familiar with. So I want to solve for y, basically. Now we can just minus 4x as a whole on this side, so we have 3y is equal to 9 minus 4x. Now you do as you normally would and you divide by 3. Now look, y is equal to, you want to put it in this form. So the term with the x is negative 4x over 3. And then 9 divided by 3 is 3. Like so. Because remember, you can split this up into 9 over 3 minus 4x minus 3. That's how you would solve for that. Basically dividing each term on the side by 3. So this one is pretty straightforward because to isolate y, x is already on this side, its slope, or the m, is 1, but you don't need to put that there because it's just x. And then minus 4 on both sides, negative 4. This one's pretty straightforward as well. You do not add the 17 to the 19x because 17, there's 17 ones and 19 x's, and they're two different things. It's just like you can't add apples and oranges, you can't add 1s and x's because we don't even know what x's are. So it would be just like so. And this one is pretty straightforward as well. Yeah. Alright. And then we start our word problems. So this one is a time problem, so you just basically just add and then make sure you're adding correctly according to the time. So it's like 60 minutes per hour. The second one is probability. So Allison has 4 shirts, blah, 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 the different colors. She also has 3 pairs of jeans. With these clothes, how many different outfits can she make? So basically the rule for these kinds of questions is to just take the number or the amount of each category and multiply them together. So it'd be 4 times 3, which just gives you 12. Very simple. And if there's 3 categories, then you just multiply the amounts of the 3. So this is the last page. Let's see. Okay, this one is just critical thinking. It's not too difficult. And this last one is, I think, square feet. So Eliza's remodeling her room. She wants to start by first painting the walls a new shade of yellow. So she measures the dimensions of her 4 walls and finds that each side is, so she has a square room, 10 feet wide and 7 feet tall. Okay, so each paint can cover 100 square feet. She wants to paint 2 coats of paint. Okay, so we just find how much she can for 1 coat of paint. So 7 times 10 is 770, right? Square feet. Or feet squared. I should write it like that. And this is 1 wall. Her room has 4 walls. So you want to multiply this by 4, gives us 280. Right, so how many paint cans, 280 is to cover 1 coat of all her walls, and you can multiply by 2 again, and you get 560. So 560, and each can cover 100, so you want to do 560 divided by 100, which is what you do normally, but you also need to remember that you need to round up. So what is the closest 100 to 560 that is rounded up? Well, it's not 500, because 500 or 5 can't cover all 560, so you go with 6, or 600 square feet. Yeah, so she'd have a leftover like 40% of her can, but that would cover it. All right, that's all for this time.